Yes, said a stable keeper, I have 2 good horses laid up, each injured by stepping on a nail in a board in the street. You know, people are awfully careless about such things. There are some people who never go out of their way to do helpful things, just as some people never go out of their way to know people, and for that reason are often alone and lonesome. It is the little things that count, just such little things as picking up from the street a board with a nail in it, and putting it aside, even that is a good turn. Lincoln once said in speaking of a man whom he thought lacking in sympathy, he is so put up by nature that a 352 lash upon his back would hurt him, but a lash upon anybody's else back does not hurt him. There are many people in the world who seem to be like that man, not so many who feel that way towards mankind, possibly, but many who thoughtlessly feel and act that way toward animals. The lash on the back of an animal, the horse, the cow, the dog, hurts, and the good scout always takes the animal's part. He is kind to animals. In the city, people often become careless as to the necessary precautions against fire, and for this reason many lives are lost. In all well-regulated school systems, each school building is properly provided with fire escapes and the children regularly disciplined in fire drills. Proper fire precautions are not yet generally required by law as they should be in great buildings, factories, or workshops where men and women are employed in large numbers. If a scout should be employed in such a place, he might make himself very serviceable in case of a fire, because having thought of it beforehand, he would know what to do, his motto being, "Be prepared." One very important thing in city life is the protection of one's health. It is essential to have good food, pure water, plenty of good, fresh air, things not always easily obtainable, but always most necessary. The scout learns through the many activities of scouting something of the marketplaces and sources of supply for food. He has some idea as to the cost of living in his own home, and should become a good marketer himself, making himself competent to judge of the quality and prices of food. If he is wide awake and intelligent, he knows the products of his own county as well as those of the state. He knows what food products are shipped in, and sometimes finds that it would be cheaper, and more profitable as well, to produce them in his own community. An industrious scout may often make his own pocket money in this way, or provide funds towards his own education. In the Constitution of the United States is written this law: no title of nobility shall be granted by the United States. The purpose of this law is to defeat any attempt to elevate one citizen above another in rank of social or political preferment. Ours is a country free from the entanglements of social distinction such as mark one man or family from another by way of title or patent of nobility, and yet, in our country of uncrowned kings and uncouth men, we would not forget the real deeds of valor, the services rendered, or the victories won. For it was the purpose 353 in the mind and in the heart of our fathers who framed the Constitution that each succeeding generation should rise to the duties and responsibilities of the state, that the virtues of the state should not descend or be lodged in one family, or any selected number of families, but rather should be in the keeping of all the families, in the care and keeping of all the people. Thus do we remember our Washington and our Lincoln. They served the generation to which they belonged, they lived and passed out of their generation having served the state, and all the virtues, cares, and responsibilities of the state, the government that is, they left to the generations that should come after them. And, therefore, each generation as it comes and goes must rise or fall in proportion as it raises or lowers the citizenship standard, for each generation must prove its own worth as must each individual his own virtues. Practical citizenship, as set forth in a letter from Colonel Theodore Roosevelt, Honorary Vice President, Boy Scouts of America, The Outlook, 287, 4th Avenue, New York, office of Theodore Roosevelt, July 20, 1911. My dear Sir, I quite agree with Judge Lindsay that the Boy Scout movement is of peculiar importance to the whole country. It has already done much good, and it will do far more, for it is in its essence a practical scheme through which to impart a proper standard of ethical conduct, proper standards of fair play and consideration for others, and courage and decency, to boys who have never been reached and never will be reached by the ordinary type of preaching, lay or clerical. I have been particularly interested in that extract of a letter from a scout master in the Philippines, which runs as follows. It might interest you to know that at a recent fire in Manila which devastated acres of ground and rendered 3,000 people homeless, that 2 patrols of the Manila Scouts reached the fire almost with the fire companies, reported to the proper authorities and worked for hours under very trying conditions, 354 helping frightened natives into places of safety, removing valuables and other articles from houses that apparently were in the path of the flames, and performing cheerfully and efficiently all the tasks given to them by the fireman and scout master. They were complimented in the public press, and in a kind editorial about their work. During the recent carnival the services of the boys were requested by the carnival officers, and for a period of 10 days they were on duty performing all manner of service in the carnival grounds, directing strangers to hotels, and acting as guides and helpers in 100 ways. What these Boy Scouts of the Philippines have just done, I think our Boy Scouts in every town and country district should train themselves to be able to do. The movement is one for efficiency and patriotism. It does not try to make soldiers of Boy Scouts, but to make boys who will turn out as men to be fine citizens, and who will, if their country needs them, make better soldiers for having been scouts. No one can be a good American unless he is a good citizen, and every boy ought to train himself so that as a man he will be able to do his full duty to the community. I want to see the Boy Scouts not merely utter fine sentiments, but act on them, not merely sing, "My country 'tis of thee," but act in a way that will give them a country to be proud of. No man is a good citizen unless he so acts as to show that he actually uses the 10 Commandments, and translates the Golden Rule into his life conduct, and I don't mean by this in exceptional cases under spectacular circumstances, but I mean applying the 10 Commandments and the Golden Rule in the ordinary affairs of everyday life. I hope the Boy Scouts will practice truth and square dealing and courage and honesty, so that when as young men they begin to take a part not only in earning their own livelihood, but in governing the community, they may be able to show in practical fashion their insistence upon the great truth that the 8th and 9th Commandments are directly related to everyday life, not only between men as such in their private relations, but between men and the government of which they are part. Indeed, the boys, even while only boys, can have a very real effect upon the conduct of the grown-up members of the community, for decency and square dealing are just as contagious as vice and corruption. Every healthy boy ought to feel and will feel that in order to amount to anything, it is necessary to have a constructive, 355 and not merely a destructive, nature, and if he can keep this feeling as he grows up he has taken his first step toward good citizenship. The man who tears down and criticizes and scolds may be a good citizen, but only in a negative sense, and if he never does anything else he is apt not to be a good citizen at all. The man who counts, and the boy who counts, are the man and boy who steadily endeavor to build up, to improve, to better living conditions everywhere and all about them. But the boy can do an immense amount right in the present, entirely aside from training himself to be a good citizen in the future, and he can only do this if he associates himself with other boys. Let the Boy Scouts see to it that the best use is made of the parks and playgrounds in their villages and hometowns. A gang of toughs may make a playground impossible, and if the Boy Scouts in the neighborhood of that particular playground are fit for their work, they will show that they won't permit any such gang of toughs to have its way. Moreover, let the Boy Scouts take the lead in seeing that the parks and playgrounds are turned to a really good account. I hope, by the way, that one of the prime teachings among the Boy Scouts will be the teaching against vandalism. Let it be a point of honor to protect birds, trees, and flowers, and so to make our country more beautiful and not more ugly, because we have lived in it. The same qualities that mean success or failure to the nation as a whole, mean success or failure in men and boys individually. The Boy Scouts must war against the same foes and vices that most hurt the nation, and they must try to develop the same virtues that the nation most needs. To be helpless, self-indulgent, or wasteful, will turn the boy into a mighty poor kind of a man, just as the indulgence in such vices by the men of a nation means the ruin of the nation. Let the boy stand stoutly against his enemies both from without and from within, let him show courage in confronting fearlessly one set of enemies, and in controlling and mastering the others. Any boy is worth nothing if he has not got courage, courage to stand up against the forces of evil, and courage to stand up in the right path. Let him be unselfish and gentle, as well as strong and brave. It should be a matter of pride to him that he is not afraid of anyone, and that he scorns not to be gentle and considerate to everyone, and especially to those who are weaker than he is. If he doesn't treat his mother and sisters well, then he is a poor creature no matter what else he does, just as a man who 356 doesn't treat his wife well is a poor kind of citizen no matter what his other qualities may be. And, by the way, don't ever forget to let the boy know that courtesy, politeness, and good manners must not be neglected. They are not little things, because they are used at every turn in daily life. Let the boy remember also that in addition to courage, unselfishness, and fair dealing, he must have efficiency, he must have knowledge, he must cultivate a sound body and a good mind, and train himself so that he can act with quick decision in any crisis that may arise. Mind, eye, muscle, all must be trained so that the boy can master himself, and thereby learn to master his fate. I heartily wish all good luck to the movement. Very sincerely yours, Theodore Roosevelt. Mr. James E. West, Executive Secretary Boy Scouts of America, New York City. 357 America my country, 'tis of thee, sweet land of liberty, of thee I sing, land where my fathers died, land of the pilgrim's pride, from every mountain side let freedom ring. My native country, the land of the noble free, thy name I love thy rocks and rills, thy woods and templed hills, my heart with rapture thrills like that above. Let music swell the breeze, and ring from all the trees sweet freedom's song, let mortal tongues awake, let all that breathe partake, let rocks their silence break, the sound prolong. Our fathers God, to thee, author of liberty, to thee we sing, long may our land be bright with freedom's holy light, protect us by thy might, great God, our King. Samuel F. Smith, 1832. 358 The Star-Spangled Banner. O say, can you see, by the dawn's early light, what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming? Whose broad stripes and bright stars, through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. O say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? On the shore, dimly seen through the mists of the deep, where the foe's haughty host in dread silence reposes. What is that which the breeze, o'er the towering steep, as it fitfully blows, half conceals, half discloses? Now it catches the gleam of the morning's first beam, in full glory reflected, now shines on the stream, 'tis the star-spangled banner. O long may it wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave. And where is that band who so vauntingly swore, mid the havoc of war and the battle's confusion, a home and a country they'd leave us no more? Their blood has washed out their foul footsteps' pollution. No refuge could save the hireling and slave from the terror of flight, o'er the gloom of the grave and the star-spangled banner in triumph shall wave, o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave. Oh, thus be it ever when freemen shall stand between their loved homes and foul war's desolation, blessed with victory and peace. May the heaven-rescued land praise the power that hath made and preserved us a nation. Then conquer we must, when our cause it is just, and this be our motto, in God is our trust, and the star-spangled banner in triumph shall wave, while the land of the free is the home of the brave. Francis Scott Key, 1814. 359 Appendix Boy Scout Equipment. As stated in the chapter on Scout Craft, for the convenience of boys who wish to secure uniforms or other equipment, the National Council has made arrangements with certain manufacturers to furnish such parts of the equipment as are most needed by boys. A number of these manufacturers have taken advertising space in this book, and it is desired that in case goods are ordered as a result of their advertisement they be informed of the fact. Some of them have made arrangements for the distribution of material through Mr. Sigmund Eisner, of Red Bank, New Jersey, who has the contract for making the official uniforms. It should be remembered at all times that the sole purpose of the National Council in entering into any arrangement whatever with manufacturers is to secure a low price on the very best material possible. The manufacturers have agreed to sell all the material listed in this book at a uniform price in all parts of the country. In case local dealers or agents for the national outfitter ask a price different from that given in the price list herewith, national headquarters should be notified. Every effort is made to have all parts of the uniform and equipment available to scouts through local dealers. If such arrangements have not been made in your community, the national headquarters will be glad to help in making such an arrangement. Many scoutmasters prefer to order uniforms and other supplies direct from national headquarters. In order to cover the expense involved in handling these supplies, the manufacturers in some cases have agreed to allow national headquarters the same trade discount allowed to local dealers. Trade through national headquarters, if sufficiently large, will help to meet a part of the current expenses of the national organization. In this suggested list of equipment, all articles marked with a star, asterisk, may be secured either through a local dealer or by 360 ordering direct through national headquarters in New York City. Directions for ordering important. When ordering supplies, care should be taken to see that the exact amount of remittance is included with the order. If check is used, add New York Exchange. Make checks and money orders payable to Boy Scouts of America. All orders received without the proper remittance will be shipped COD, or held until remittance arrives. Asterisk axe, any local hardware dealer can suggest quite a variety of good axes which may be used by the Scout, but because of quality and price, the Boy Scout axe is suggested. Weight without handle, 12 ounces, made of one piece of solid steel, special temper, axe pattern, hickory handle, missionized hand-forged non-rusting finish. Price 35 cents. Axe scabbard or shield, 25 cents extra. Bandana or neckerchief, these are so common that every boy will recognize at once what is meant by a bandana. The members of each patrol wear bandanas made in the colors of their patrol. These can be purchased at any local dry goods store at 10 or 15 cents each. Asterisk belts, any good belt will meet the Scout's needs. But for his convenience the belt illustrated herewith is suggested. Price 40 cents. Asterisk breeches, standard material belt, guides, pockets full, pattern, legs laced below the knee, the lacing to be covered by stockings or leggings. Order by age according to following table, boys sizes, price $1. Age size, waist, seat, inseam, calf, ankle 183237131/29-1/2173136-1/225-1/213-1/291630 352 1-228-1/428-3/1/28-1/2028-1/421 extra sizes. Breeches above 18-year size will be made to order and will cost 25 cents more per garment. Waist seat seam calf ankle 1-3-238-274-13-1/3/439-3/44345412713/445364228 1-510-6343271/410-1/47384428115-1/210-1/2 bugle. It is recommended that the standard bugle used in an army or drum corps be used. Each patrol should purchase these from a local music store. Camp knives, forks, and spoons, ordinary table knives, forks, and spoons may be used. An inexpensive knife, fork and spoon for use in camps, like set illustrated herewith, may be secured for about 8 cents per dozen through almost any local hardware store. Canteen. A canteen of this design may be carried by each scout on hikes and long tramps. Many army supply houses carry these in stock, where they may be secured if desired. Asterisk coats, standard material for bellows pockets standing collar dull metal buttons with Boy Scout emblem. Order by age according / to following table, boys sizes, price $1.35. Age breast waist length sleeve collar 1-83432263116133311/224-1632302/114-151302923-1/227-1/214-1329228-1/214-1329228-1/227-1/214-1329228-1/214-1/32928-1/214-1/32928-1/214-1/32928-1/214-1/32928-1/214-1/32928-1/214-1/32928-1/214-1/32928-1/214-1/32928-1/214-1/32928-1/214-1/32928-1/214-1/32928-1/214-1/32928-1/214-1/32928-1/214-1/32928-1/214-1/32928-1/214-1/32928-1/214-1/32928-1/214-1/32928-1/214-1/32928-1/214-1/32928-1/214-1/32928-1/214-1/32928-1/214-1/32928-1/214-1/32928-1/214-1/32928-1/214-1/32928-1/214-1/32928-1/214-1/32928-1/214-1/ 1/2223261 extra sizes. Coats above 18-year size will be made as extra size and will cost 25 cents more per garment than boys' sizes. Breast waist length sleeve length collar finish 13,532 2/33,174,233/1/217-1/453,927-2337-1/233-1/218-1/2 Asterisk Norfolk Coat for Scout Masters, made of standard olive drab cotton cloth, 2 pleats, back and front, with belt. Price, $3. Compass, every scout should learn how to use his watch as a compass. However, should he desire to own a compass, he will find no difficulty in securing one at any local jeweler's. Asterisk Drinking cup, a drinking cup for individual use is recommended. The folding cup shown in the illustration is made of brass and is nickel-plated. Price 10 cents. Drum, the selection of this is left to each local troop desiring this piece of equipment. Place your order with local music dealer. First aid kit, This kit for the use of the individual scout can be secured through this office or the Red Cross Society in Washington, New York and San Francisco. Price 25 cents. Asterisk hats. 4 hats are suggested as follows. 1 Boy Scout hat. Olive drab felt standard quality detachable ties. Price $1.15. Number 1, Number 2, NOS 3 and 4 363 2. Boy Scout Summer Hat. Olive drab drill, inside seams reinforced with leather, eyelets in crown for ventilation, detachable ties. Price 50 cents. 3 Boy Scout Hat. Extra fine, fur felt, made for hard service. Price $2. 4 Scout Master's Hat. Quality same as above, but larger dimensions. Price $2.50. Be sure to indicate size desired when ordering. Asterisk haversack, waterproof canvas, leather straps, buckles and separate pockets, Scout emblem on flap. Price 60 cents. Hospital Corps Pouch. This pouch has been made up specially by the American Red Cross Society and contains the following: 1 shears, 1 tweezers, 1 carbolized Vaseline, 1 package safety pins, 2 wire gauze splints, 1 2 ounces bottle aromatic spirits of ammonia, 1 ARC. First aid outfit, cardboard, 2 1-yard packages sterilized gauze. 3 1-inch bandages. 3 2-1/2-inch bandages, 2 triangular bandages, cartons, 1 USA tourniquet. Arrange with the American Red Cross Society for purchase of these. Price $1.00. Asterisk knickerbockers, Boy Scout olive drab drill, belt guides, pockets, knee buckles, full pattern. Price 75 cents. H size waist 1932 1731 1630 1529 1428 1327 1226-1/2 knives, number 1, price $1. A stag handle, brass lining, German silver bolsters and shield. Large polished cutting blade, screwdriver, can opener, and leather boring tool, US pad. 6-10-02, number 2, price 50 cents. Genuine ebony handle, brass lining, German silver bolsters and shield. Large cutting blade can be opened without using the fingernail. Shackle for hanging to belt. 364 lanyard. This piece of equipment is so simple in construction that every scout ought to make his own lanyard. These are used for carrying the scout whistle or knife. Asterisk leggings, puttees. The style of leggings is the same as United States Army putty legging. Made of best waterproof Army duck. Price 55 cents. Asterisk mess kits, number 1. Price 75 cents. Coffee or tea can, cup, stew, or fry pan, with cover, 1 broiler, 2 handles. Number 2. Price 50 cents. Coffee or tea can, cup, stew, or fry pan, 1 handle. Patrol flags. The patrol flags are made from a good quality muslin or wool bunting in the colors of the local patrol. Scouts make their own patrol flags. Material may be purchased at a local dry goods store. The size of the flag is 11 inches by 27 inches. Emblems can be secured from national headquarters. Asterisk ponchos. A good poncho is almost an absolute necessity for the scout when on a march or in camp. Ponchos suitable for scout purposes can be secured from local dealers at prices from $2.50 upward. Shelter tents. Scouts should make their own tents. Directions for making tents are given in the text of this book. Asterisk shirts. Boy Scout shirt, standard material, 2 bellows pockets, open front, Coat style standard button same as coat. Order by size. Price $1 summer shirt same as above, lightweight. Price 75 cents. 365 asterisk shorts, standard material belt guides. Full running pant pattern especially desirable for summer use. Order according to age and waist measurement. Price 50 cents. Asterisk shoes, any good shoe that is made up for the purpose of ease and comfort in tramping will serve the Boy Scouts' needs. The Boy Scout shoe is convenient, inexpensive, and especially designed for scouting. Price $2.50. Signal flags, these can be made from muslin or bunting which may be secured at local stores. It is recommended that each scout make his own flags. Regulation sizes of the semaphore 18 inches by 18 inches. And the Morse or Meyer flag 24 inches by 24 inches. As shown in illustration. Staff, ash or bamboo, 2 meters, 6 feet 6½ inches in length and about 1½ inches in diameter, marked off on one side in centimeters up to 1/2 meter, and the balance in meters. On the other side it should be marked off in inches up to 1 foot and the balance in feet. The staff should have a blunt end. Scouts should make their own staffs whenever it is possible for them to secure the lumber. Hoe or rake handles make excellent staffs. These can be procured through any local dealer at a nominal sum. The Scout staff and its uses. Many boys, upon taking up the Scout movement, are dubious about the value of the Scout staff, and many friends of the movement ask, why does a Boy Scout carry a staff? Experience has proven it to be one of the most helpful articles of equipment. In order to show this, we are reproducing, through the courtesy of Lieutenant Gen Sir Robert SS 366 Baden-Powell, illustrations from printed matter used by the English Boy Scouts. These illustrations show a number of different ways in which the staff will prove a handy and valuable article, in fact, essential to the Scout outfit. The staff is very useful for beating out brush fires and outbreaks which occur on open heaths. Wading a stream. 2 or 3 Scouts grasp the staff like this. Both patrol tents and teepees can be made with the aid of the staff. An improvised stretcher of coats and staves. A line of Scouts linked together on a night march. When anyone falls through some ice, throw him your staff so that he can grasp it like this until you can get a rope and pull him out. When climbing gates, you can give yourself a push-up with your staff. For erecting a flagstaff and forming a fence, the staff is very useful. A clear view can be had by looking through a small hole drilled in the staff. Measuring distances. Self-defense. Making splints. Jumping ditches. Making rafts. Bridge building. Climbing a mountain. Carry the staff crosswise, and if you slip, lean inwards upon it, against the side of the mountain. The weight of your body will then drive the end of the staff into the earth, and so anchor you. Levering up logs and stones. Rope ladders, feeling the way over marshy ground. Recovering objects floating in the water. First tie a line to the center of the staff. Then tie a piece of string to each end of the staff, and the other ends of these strings being tied to the center. That will keep the staff at right angles to the line that is in your hand. By swinging the staff out over the water, beyond the floating article, you will be able to draw the ladder in close to shore. Stockings, to match uniforms, made of heavy material and suitable for scouting. Price 30 cents in cotton, $1.25 in wool. Sweaters, any local clothing store will be able to secure for the scout the kind and quality of sweater needed. Telegraph instruments, beginner's telegraph. 367 instruments, to be used in learning the Morse code, may be secured through any electrical supply house. The instrument illustrated, 5 ohms, price, $1.30. Tracking irons. Excellent tracking irons can be made of 7/8-inch heavy band iron, using the design presented here. Any local blacksmith will gladly assist the boys in making their irons. Asterisk troop colors, made of superior wool bunting, upper half, red, lower half, white. Reproduction of the official badge superimposed in green and gold. Sufficient space left for troop number and name of city. Size of flag, 22 inches by 36 inches. Letters to be attached by the local troop. Price without letters $1. Asterisk trousers, full length for Scout Masters, made of standard olive drab cotton cloth, belt loop. Price $2. If breeches are preferred, they may be had at same price. Better quality of Boy Scout suits made of U.S. Army standard olive drab cloth. Coat $2.50, breeches $2. Watch, every scout should possess a good watch. No particular make of watch is recommended. The choice of this article is left entirely with the boy and may be bought through a local jeweler. Water bottle. In some cases where the individual scout is not furnished with a canteen, the patrol may desire to carry a supply of water on the march. For this purpose, water bottles capable of carrying a large quantity of water may be secured. These should be purchased through some army supply house. Asterisk whistles, Scout standard whistle, for use in signaling by whistle. Made of brass, gunmetal finish, ring at end to attach to lanyard. Price 10 cents. 368 suggestions for measuring name. Street city coat measure L, all around at breast undercoat M, all around at waist undercoat sleeve C to D, from center of collar seam to shoulder seam, then E, to elbow. F, to full length breeches M, all around at waist undercoat leggings G, size of calf H, size of instep 369 hat size of linen collar worn. Answer following questions plainly. Age, height, weight. Books for reference. This list of reference books has been prepared for the use of Scouts, to supplement information given in the handbook prepared for their use. It has been the aim to give as wide a selection as possible, in order that the Boy Scout might not fail to find in the local public library some book on any subject in which he may have particular interest. The list includes literature directly or indirectly related to scouting, as well as some appropriate books of fiction. For convenience, the books have been listed in accordance with the subject headings of the various chapters of the handbook. Some of the most experienced librarians of the country have submitted material which has aided in the preparation of this list. For this kindly cooperation, sincere thanks is given. Many of the books have been carefully reviewed by someone connected with the Boy Scouts, and in many cases through the courtesy of the publishers, copies of these books are available for reference purposes at the office of the national headquarters. Suggestions for additions or improvements upon this list will be gladly received at any time. Communications should be addressed to the Executive Secretary, 200 Fifth Avenue, New York City. Transcriber's note: in the following list of books, the first line is the title, the second the author, the third the publisher. The author and / or publisher may be omitted. Scoutcraft Notes on Scouting and Reconnaissance, JASFM, Livingston, London. Clowes Pioneering and Mapmaking for Boy Scouts, C.R. Enoch, London. Pearson Scouting for Boys, Lieutenant Gen Robert Baden-Powell, C. Arthur Pearson, Limited, Henrietta St., London. 3 Amateur Scouts, Jadburns Lippincott. The Boy Scouts, Chipman Birdco. Yarns for Boy Scouts, Lieutenant Gen Robert Baden-Powell, C. Arthur Pearson, Limited, Henrietta St., London. Woodcraft Animals, American Natural History. Hornaday Animal Artisans, C.J. Cornish Longmans, Green & Co. Animals at Home, Lillian Bartlett. American Book Co. 370 Animal Heroes, Seton Century Co. A Wilderness Dog Biography of a Grizzly Seton Scribner's Biography of a Silver Fox Seton Scribner's Claws and Hoofs James Johannot American Book Co. Dan Beard's Animal Book and Campfire Stories D.C. Beard Scribner's Familiar Animals and Their Wild Kindred John Monteith American Book Co. Four-Footed Americans and Their Kin M.C. Wright Good Hunting Theodore Roosevelt Harper Brothers Habits of Animals E. Ingersoll Half Hours with the Lower Animals C.G. Holder American Book Co-Haunter of Pine Gloom C.G.D. Roberts Haunters of the Silences C.G.D. Roberts Grosset and Dunlap Homes, Haunts and Habits of Wild Animals I.T. Johnson House in the Water C.G.D. Roberts Jock of the Bush Vold Sir P. Fitzpatrick Longmans, Green & Co. Jungle Book Kipling Second Jungle Book Kipling Kindred of the Wild C.G.D. Roberts King of the Mamos Eckel C.G.D. Roberts Cragg and Johnny Bear Seton Scribner's Life Histories of North America Seton Scribner's Little Beasts of Field and Wood Cram Little Brother to the Bear W.J. Longin & Co. Lives of the Fur Folk M.D. Haviland Longmans Green & Co. Living Animals of the World, Volume I, 2. 3. The University Society Lobo, Rag, and Vixen Seton Scribner's Lives of the Hunted Seton Scribner's Musway W. A. Fraser My Dogs in the Northland E. R. Young Ravel Co-Monarch, The Big Bear of Talac Seton Scribner's Red Fox C.G.D. Roberts Shaggy Coat Seahawks Shovel Horns, Biography of a Moose Seahawks Some Curious Flyers, Creepers, and Swimmers J. Johannot American Book Co. Some Useful Animals and What They Do for Us J.C. Monteith American Book Co. 371 Squirrel and Other Fur Bearers John Burroughs Stories of Animal Life C.F. Holder American Book Co. Stories of Humble Friends Catherine Pyle American Book Co. Story of the Trapper A.C. Lott The Romance of Animal Arts and Crafts H. Copen and John Lee Lippincott The Romance of the Animal World Edmund Silla Seeley & Co. The Wolf Patrol John Finmore Trapper Jim Edwin Sandy's Ways of Wood Folk W.J. Long Wild Animals at Play Seton Doubleday Page & Co. Wild Animals I Have Known Seton Scribner's Wilderness Ways W.J. Long Wildlife in the Rockies Enos A. Mills Houghton Mifflin Co. Wildlife of Orchard and Field Ingersoll Wolf, The Storm Leader Frank Caldwell Dodd, Mead & Co. Wood Folk at School W.J. Longin & Co. Astronomy A Field Book of the Stars W.F. Alcott Putnam Astronomy Julia McNair Wright Penn Pub Co. Astronomy by Observation Eliza A. Bowen American Book Co. Astronomy for Everybody Simon Newcomb Doubleday, Page & Co. Astronomy with an Opera Glass GP Service A Study of the Sky H. A. Howe Scribner's Astronomy with the Naked IP Service G. Harper Brothers Children's Book of the Stars Milton Macmillan Co. Earth and Sky Every Child Should Know J. E. Rogers How to Identify the Stars W. J. Milham How to Locate the Stars Hines, Noble & Co. Popular Astronomy G. Flammarion Round the Year with the Stars GP Service Starland Ballgin & Co. Steele's Popular Astronomy J.D. Steele American Book Co. The Friendly Stars M. E. Martin The Romance of Modern Astronomy McPherson Lippincott 372 Birds Bird Guide Part 1 Water Birds Chester A. Reed Doubleday, Page & Co. Bird Guide Part 2 Land Birds Nelge Blanchan Doubleday, Page & Co. Bird Homes A. E. Dugmar Doubleday, Page & Co. Birds in Their Relation to Menweed and Beerborn Lippincott Bird Life Frank Chapman Appleton Bird Neighbors Nelge Blanchan Doubleday, Page & Co. Bird Neighbors John Burroughs Doubleday, Page & Co. Birds of Eastern North America Chapman Appleton Birds That Every Child Should Know Nelge Blanchan Doubleday, Page & Co. Birds That Hunt and Are Hunted Nelge Blanchan Doubleday, Page & Co. Birds Through the Year A. F. Gilmore American Book Co. Citizen Bird M. O. Wright ELO The Eagle and Other Stories Floyd Berlian Pacific Pub Co. Everyday Birds Bradford Torrey Field Book of Wild Birds and Their Music F. S. Matthews Putnam Sons First Book of Birds H. M. Miller Second Book of Birds H. M. Miller Flamingo Featherman Row How to Attract the Birds Nelge Blanchan Doubleday, Page & Co. How to Attract the Birds Trafton How to Know the Birds H&E Parkhurst Scribner's How to Know the Wild Birds of Ohio Dietrich Lang How to Study Birds in Birdland Leander S. Kaiser McClurg Co. Land Birds East of the Rockies C. A. Reed Lord of the Air C. G. D. Roberts Nestlings of Forest and Marsh Irene G. Wheelock McClurg Co. Our Birds and Hugh to Know Them. J.B. Grant Scribner's Our Own Birds. W.M.L. Bailey Lippincott Tenants of the Trees. Seahawks. The Blue Goose Chase. H.K. Job. The Romance of Bird Life. John Lee Lippincott. Short Stories of Our Shy Neighbors. Mrs. M.A.B. Keeley. American Book Co. The Sport of Bird Study. Job Outing. Pub Co. Wild Birds of City Parks. 373 Fish and Fishing. Book of Aquaria. Bateman and Bennett. L. Upcott. Gilboy's Own Guide to Fishing. J. H. Keene. Denizens of the Deep. Frank T. Bullen. Revelco. Familiar Fish. Eugene McCarthy. Favorite Fish and Fishing. J. A. Hens Hall. Outing. Pub Co. Fine Art of Fishing. S. G. Camp. Outing. Pub Co. Fishing and Shooting Sketches. Grover Cleveland. Outing. Pub Co. Fishing Kits and Equipment. G. S. Camp. NY. Outing Co. Fish Stories. Holder and Jordan. Half Hours with Fishes, Reptiles, and Birds. Holder. American Book Co. Home Aquarium and How to Care for It. Eugene Smith Dutton. The Angler's Guide. Wainwright Randall. The Book of Fish and Fishing. Lewis Riad Scribner's The Little Water Folks. Hawks. Crowell Co. Tricks and Knacks of Fishing. Horton Manufacturing Co. Water Wonders Every Child Should Know. J. M. Thompson. Flowers, Ferns, and Grasses. Botany. Julia McNair Wright. Penn. Pub Co. Botany for Children. Harriet C. Cooper. Crowell Co. Common Plants. George O. Goodall. D. C. Heath and Co. Elementary Botany with Spring Flora. W. A. Kellerman Hines, Noble and Co. Field Book of American Wildflowers. P. Schuyler Matthews. Flora of the Southern United States. A. W. Chapman. Flower Guide. C. A. and C. K. Reed. Gardening for Profit. P. Henderson. Grasses, Sedges, and Rushes of the North United States. Edward Noble. How to Collect and Preserve Plants and Seaweeds. Hines, Noble and Co. How to Know the Ferns. Francis Theodora Parsons. How to Know the Wildflowers. Parsons. Illustrated Flora of the United States and Canada. N. L. Britton and Addison Brown. 374 Lessons with Plants. Bailey Manual of Gardening. L. H. Bailey. Nature's Garden. Nelge Blanchan. Doubleday, Page and Co. New England Ferns and Their Common Allies. Helen Eastman. New Manual of Botany. Asa Gray. New Manual of Botany of the Central Rocky Mountains. John M. Coulter, revised by Avon Nelson. Our Garden Flowers. Harriet Louise Keeler. Plants and Their Children. W. M. Starr. Dana. American Book Co. Rocky Mountain Wildflower Studies. Burton O. Longyear. Southern Wildflowers and Trees. Alice Lounsbury. The Fern Collector's Guide. Willard Nelson Clute. The Garden Yard. B. Hall. Young Folks Nature Field Book. J. Alden Loring. Dana Estes Co. Fungi. Edible Fungi of New York. Charles H. Peck. NY State Museum. Flowerless Plants, Ferns, Mushrooms, Mosses, Lichens and Seaweeds. E. H. Hale. Mushrooms. Atkinson Holt and Co. 1000 American Fungi. McIlvaine and McAdam. Bobbs, Merrill and Co. Studies of American Fungi. Atkinson. The Mushroom. M. E. Hart. Ohio Library Co. The Mushroom Book. Nina L. Marshall. Doubleday, Page and Co. Handicraft Clay Modeling. Paul N. Hasluck. David McKay. Dynamos and Electric Motors. Paul N. Hasluck. David McKay. Electric Bells. Paul N. Hasluck. David McKay. Electroplating. Paul N. Hasluck. David McKay. Glass Writing, Embossing and Fascia Work. Paul N. Hasluck. David McKay. How to Make Baskets. Mary White. Doubleday, Page and Co. Leather Working. Paul N. Hasluck. David McKay. Photography. Paul N. Hasluck. David McKay. Photographic Cameras. Paul N. Hasluck. David McKay. Photographic Chemistry. Paul N. Hasluck. David McKay. Photographic Studies. Paul N. Hasluck. David McKay. Upholstery. Paul N. Hasluck. David McKay. 375 Insects and Butterflies. Ants, Their Structure, Development, and Behavior. W. M. Wheeler. Columbia University Press. Beehives and Appliances. Paul Hasluck. David McKay. Directions for Collecting and Preserving Insects. Nathan Banks. U.S. National Museum Bulletin. Everyday Butterflies. How to Keep Bees. Anna B. Comstock. Doubleday, Page Co. How to Know the Butterflies. J. H. and Mrs. Comstock. D. Appleton and Co. Insect Life. Comstock. Little Busybodies. Marks Moody. Harper Brothers Manual for the Study of Insects. J. H. and A. B. Comstock. Moths and Butterflies. Julia P. Ballard. Putnam Sons. Our Insect Friends and Enemies. J. B. Smith Lippincott. Our Insect Friends and Foes. B. S. Cragen. Putnam Sons. The Butterfly Book. W. J. Holland. Doubleday, Page and Co. The Housefly Disease Carrier. L. O. Howard Stokes Co. The Moth Book. W. J. Holland. Doubleday, Page and Co. The Romance of Insect Life. Edmund Silla Seeley and Co. The Way of the Six-Footed Rocks and Pebbles. About Pebbles. Alpheus Hyatt, D.C. Heath & Co. Boy Mineral Collectors. J.G. Kelly. Common Minerals and Rocks. W.M.O. Crosby, D.C. Heath & Co. Stories of Rocks and Minerals. H.W. Fairbanks. The Boy Geologist at School and in Camp. E.G. Houston. The Earth and Its Story. A. Heilprin. R. and the Romance of Modern Geology. Grew Lippincott. Reptiles. Poisonous Snakes of North America. Leonard Steginger. Governor Printing Office. The Reptile Book. Dietmar Doubleday, Page & Co. 376 Shells and Shellfish. American Marine Shells. Bulletin number 37. U.S. National Museum, Washington. Mollusks of the Chicago Area. F.C. Baker. Chicago Academy. The Little Water Folk. Seahawks. Crowell Co. The Limnity of North America. F.C. Baker. Chicago Academy of Sciences. The Shell Book. Julia E. Rogers. Doubleday, Page & Co. West Coast Shells. Josiah Keep. Worms and Crustacea. Hyatt, D.C. Heath & Co. Trees and Shrubs. A Guide to the Trees. Alice Lounsbury. Familiar Trees and Their Leaves. Matthews Field and Forest Handy Book. Dan C. Beard. First Book of Forestry. Roth. Forest Trees and Forest Scenery. Schwartz. Grafton Press. Handbook of Trees of New England. Dame and Brooks. Ginn & Co. Handbook of the Trees of the Northern United States and Canada. Hoff. How to Tell the Trees. Hines, Noble & Co. How to Know Wild Fruits. Maud C. Peterson. Manual of the Trees of North America. Charles Sprague. Sargent. North American Trees. Britain. North American Forests and Forestry. Brunken. Putnam. Are native trees. Keeler. Scribners are northern shrubs. Harriet L. Keeler. Are shrubs of the United States. Apgar. Practical Forestry for Beginners in Forestry. J. C. Gifford. School of the Woods. W. J. Long. Studies of Trees in Winter. Huntington. Sargent. 10 Common Trees. Susan Stokes. American Book Co. The Forest. S. E. White. The Forester's Manual or Forest Trees That Every Scout Should Know. Seaton. Doubleday, Page & Co. The Magic Forest. White. Grosset and Dunlap. The Tree Book. Julia E. Rogers. Doubleday, Page & Co. The Way of the Woods. Breck. Putnam Sons. Trees of the Northern United States. Austin C. Apgar. 377. The Trees of California. Jepson. The Woodsman's Handbook. United States Department of Agriculture. Bulletin number 36. Trees That Every Child Should Know. J. E. Rogers. Miscellaneous Woodcraft Adventures in the Great Forests. H. W. Hyrst. Lippincott. Adventures of Buffalo Bill. Cody. Adventures of Four-Footed Folk. Bell M. Brain. Fleming H. Ravel. A Journey to Nature. J. P. Mowbray. Grosset and Dunlap. American Boy's Handy Book. Beard. Amateur Taxidermists. Curso. A Watcher in the Woods. D. L. Sharp. Century Co. Bent Iron Work. Hasluck. David McKay. Birch Bark Roll. Seaton. Boots and Saddles. Custer. Boy Craftsman. A. W. Hall. Boy Pioneers. Dan Beard. Scribner's Boys Book of Airships. H. Delacombe. Boys Workshop. Cragen. Boy with the United States Foresters. Robert Wheeler. Box Furniture. Louise Brigham. Century Co. Diamed. Sargent. Grosset and Dunlap. Chats on Photography. Wallington. Lippincott. Electricity. Fowler Pen. Pub Co. Electric Instrument Making. For Amateurs. Bottom. Electricity for Boys. Adams. Electricity for Everybody. Atkinson. Electricity for Young People. Jenks. Electricity Made Easy. E. J. Houston and A. E. Kennelly. Excursions. Thoreau. Houghton Mifflin Co. Famous Indian Chiefs. Johnston Field and Forest Handy Book. Beard. Scribners. For a Foot. Barber Frank. The Young Naturalist. Castleman Hurst Co. Frontiersman's Pocketbook. Pocket Harper's How to Understand Electricity. Onken and Baker. 378. Harper's Indoor Book for Boys. Adams. Harper Brothers. Harper's Outdoor Book for Boys. Adams. Home Mechanics for Amateurs. G. M. Hopkins. How Two Boys Made Their Own Electrical Apparatus. T. M. St. John in American Fields and Forests. H. D. Thoreau. ETAL. Indoor and Outdoor Handicraft. Beard. Scribner's Jack of All Trades. Dan Beard. Scribner's Lakerim Athletic Club. Hughes. Last of the Mohicans. Cooper. Houghton Mifflin Co. Log Cabins and Cottages. Wicks Forest and Stream. Long Trail. Garland Making Wireless Outfits. Harrison. Nature Study. F.L. Holds. Scribner's On Horseback in Virginia. C. D. Warner. Houghton Mifflin Co. Our National Parks. John Muir. Houghton Mifflin Co. Outdoor Handy Book. Dan Beard. Scribner's Outdoors, Indoors, and Up the Chimney. C. McIlvaine. Sunday School Times. Out of Doors. M. Ellsworth Olson. Pacific Pub Co. Romance of Modern Photography. Gibson. Lippincott Scholars. ABC of Electricity. Meadowcraft. Hines, Noble & Co. Scientific American Boy. www.gutenberg.org/etext/15831 Bond Mon & Co. Scientific American Boy at School Bond Scientific American Reference Book Bond Mon & Co. Secret of the Woods. WMJ Longin & Co. Sportsman Joe Sandys Taxidermy Hasluk McKay The Boy Electrician Houston Lippincott The Boy's Book of Conservation Small Maynard & Co. The Boy's Book of Inventions Bacon Doubleday, Page & Co. The Boy's Second Book of Inventions Baker Doubleday, Page & Co. The Boy's Book of Model Aeroplanes Collins Century Co. The Boy's Book of Steamships Howden The Camp at Willow Clump Island, www.gutenberg.org/etext/15831, Bond the Frog Book Dickerman Doubleday, Page & Co. 379 The Complete Photographer Bailey Doubleday, Page & Co. The Mountains S.E. White The Open Window Grosset & Dunlap The Young Electrician H. Hall Macmillan Co. The Young Mechanic Putnam's Sons Things a Boy Should Know About Electricity T.M. St. John Things a Boy Should Know About Wireless St. John Trapper Jim Sandys Two Little Savages Seaton Vehicles of the Air Longheed Riley and Britton Co. Walden, or Life in the Woods Thoreau Houghton Mifflin Co. Ways of Nature Burroughs Houghton Mifflin Co. Wilderness Homes Kemp Outing Pub Co. Wild Neighbors Ingersoll Wireless Telegraphy A.F. Collins Woodcraft Sears Century Co. Woodmyth and Fable Seaton Century Co. Wonders of Man and Nature are Whiting Woodcraft Nessuk Forest and Strian Woodworking for Beginners Wheeler Young Folks Nature Field Book J. A. Loring Dana Estes Co. Campcraft Around the Campfire C.G.D. Robertson Old Fashioned Sugar Camp P.G. Houston Revell Co. At Home in the Water Corson Association Press Billy in Camp Car McClurg Co. Boat Building and Boating for Beginners. Dan Beard Scribner's Boat Sailing Kensley Outing Co. Building Model Boats Hasluk David McKay Camp and Trail. Isabel Hornibrook Camp and Trail S.E. White Outing Pub Co. Camp and Trail Methods Kephart Camp Cookery Horace Kephart Outing Pub Co. Campfire and Wigwam Ellis Winston Co. Campfire Musings W.C. Gray Revell Camping and Camp Cooking Bates Camping and Camp Outfits G.O. Shields Camping for Boys Gibson Association Press Camping Out Stevenshurst and Co. Camp Kits and Camp Life Hanks Scribner's 380 Camp Life in the Woods Gibson Camp Mates C. Cayman Row Canoe Mates Kirkman Row Canoe and Boat Building Stevens Forest and Stream Canoe and Camp Cookery Seneca Forest and Stream Canoe Boys and Campfires Graydon Grosset and Dunlap Captain Thomas A. Scott, Master Diver F. H. Smith Comrades in Camp Victor Chatterton Co. Economical Cookbook Mrs. Sarah Paul John C. Winston and Co. Every Boy His Own Cook Atkinson Rice Guns, Ammunition, and Tackle Money, ETAL Harper's Camping and Scouting Grinnell and Swan How to Swim Dalton Knotting and Splicing Ropes and Cordage Hasluk Plates Accompanying Canoe and Boat Building for Amateurs Forest and Stream Pub Co. Practical Rowing, with Scull and Sweep Stevens Ropes, Their Knots and Splices Cunard Swimming Brewster Houghton Mifflin Co. Swimming Sinclair The Art of Swimming Nelligan The Boat Sailor's Manual Qualtrough Scribner's The Book of Camping and Woodcraft Kephart Outing Pub Co. The Kidnapped Campers Kenfield Watchers of the Campfires C.G.D. Roberts Tracks, Trailing, and Signaling Along Four-Footed Trails Ruth A. Cook James Pott and Co. Black Bear Wright Comrades of the Trails Roberts First to Cross the Continent Brooks Footprints in the Forest Ellis Winston Co. Graphology Howard Penn Pub Co. Grizzly Bear Wright International Code of Signals U.S. Government Printing Office 381 Northern Trails, Books 1 and 2, WMJ Longin & Co. Our Country's Flag. E.S. Holden Phrenology Olin Penn Pub Co. Physiognomy Lomlax Penn Pub Co. Return to the Trails C.G.D. Roberts Sign Language Seaton Doubleday, Page & Co. The Trail of the Badger Hamp The Trail to the Woods. Hawks American Book Co. Tracks and Tracking Brunner Outing Pub Co. Trail of the Sand Hill Stag Seaton Watchers of the Trails C.G.D. Roberts Young Trailers Altular Health and Endurance Body and its Defenses Jewett Confidential Talks with Young Men Sperry Revell Control of Body and Mind Jewett Ginn and Co. Daily Training Benson and Miles from Youth into Manhood Hall Good Health Jewett Ginn and Co. Health Walter C. Wood Penn Pub Co. Health, Strength, and Power Sergeant Home Treatment and Care of the Sick Lovering Otis Clapp and Son How to Keep Well Wilson Crowell Japanese Physical Training Hancock My System Muller Rural Hygiene Brewer Lippincott Chivalry Adaptability Ellen E. Kenyon Warner Hines, Noble & Co. Adventure Among Red Indians HYRST Lippincott Age of Chivalry Bullfinch and Ironwool Orison Sweat Martin Crowell A Skilled Workman W. A. Bedell Ravelco Aspiration and Achievement Frederick A. Atkins Ravelco Aspirations and Influence H. Clay Trumbull Sunday School Times Book of Famous Verse Agnes Repplier Boys King Arthur Lanier Boys Life of Captain John Smith Johnson Careers of Danger and Daring Cleveland Moffett 382 Character Shaping and Character Working H. Clay Trumbull Sunday School Times Character The Grandest Thing Orison Sweat Martin Crowell Co Cheerfulness as a Life Power Orison Sweat Martin Crowell Co Daniel Boone, Backwoodsman Forbes Lindsay Lippincott Duty Ellen E. Kenyon Warner Hines, Noble & Co. Duty Knowing and Duty Doing H. Clay Trumbull Sunday School Times Economy Orison Sweat Martin Crowell Co. Every Man a King Orison Sweat Martin Crowell Co. Famous Scouts Johnston Fidelity Ellen E. Kenyon Warner Hines Noble & Co. First Battles Frederick A. Atkins Ravelco. For American Pioneers Perry and B.B. Getting One's Bearings Alexander Mackenzie Ravelco Good Manners and Success Orison Sweat Martin Crowell Co. He Can Who Thinks He Can Orison Sweat Martin Crowell Co Heroes Every Child Should Know H.W. Maybe Houghton Mifflin Co Heroes of Chivalry Louise Maitland Heroes of Pioneering Sanderson Lippincott Heroes of the Storm O'Connor Houghton Hero Myths and Legends of the British Race M. O. Butt Crowell Co John James Audubon Putnam John Smith, Gentleman and Adventurer. Lindsay Lippincott Knight Errant Davidson Lippincott Knighthood in Germ and Flower Cox Last of the Great Scouts Wetmore Lessons on Manners Julia M. Dewey Hines, Noble & Co. Levels of Living Henry F. Cope Ravel Life of Kit Carson Ellis Grosset and Dunlap Little Jarvis Sewell Loyalty McClure Ravel Co. Making the Most of Ourselves Calvin Dill Wilson McClurg Co. Men of Iron Pile Moral Muscle Frederick A. Atkins Ravel Co. My Young Man Louis Albert Banks Funk and Vinyals Co. Ourselves and Others H. Clay Trumbull Sunday School Times Page, Esquire, and Knight. Lansing Peace, Power, and Plenty Orison Sweat Martin Crowell Co. Possibilities McClure Ravelco Rising in the World or Architects H. Clay Trumbull Sunday School Times Practical Paradoxes Orison Sweat Martin Crowell Co. Royal Manhood James I Vance Ravelco 383 Rushing to the Front Orison Sweat Martin Crowell Co. Seeing and Being H. Clay Trumbull Sunday School Times Self-Control and Its Kingship and Majesty W. M. Co. Jordan Ravelco Self-Reliance Ellen E. Kenyon Warner Hines, Noble & Co. Stories of Charlemagne Church Stories of King Arthur Waldo Cutler Crowell Co. Stories of King Arthur and His Knights Pile Stories of King Arthur and the Round Table Beatrice Clay Stories of the Great West Roosevelt Story of the Cowboy Hoff Successful Men of Today Wilbur F. Crafts Funk and Vinyals Success in Life Emil Reich Duffield Co. Success Ward Edward Bach Ravel Co. Talks with Great Workers Orison Sweat Martin Crowell Co. Tendency James I Vance Ravel Co. The Book of King Arthur and His Noble Knights Mary MacLeod Fred K. A. Stokes The Boys Gugolaine Eleanor Hull Crowell Co. The Christian Gentleman Louis Albert Banks Funk and Vinyals The Crown of Individuality W. M. George Jordan Ravel Co. The Hour of Opportunity Orison Sweat Martin Crowell Co. The Kingship of Self-Control W. M. George Jordan Ravel Co. The Majesty of Calmness W. M. George Jordan Ravel Co. The Making of a Man Robert Elliott Spear Ravel Co. The Marks of a Man Robert Elliott Spear Ravel Co. The Optimistic Life Orison Sweat Martin Crowell Co. The Oregon Trail Parkman Lippincott The Power of Personality Orison Sweat Martin Crowell Co. The Romance of Early Exploration Williams Lippincott The Secret of Achievement Orison Sweat Martin Crowell Co. The Story of Hereward Douglas E. Stedman Crowell Co. The Vision of Sir Launfal James Russell Lowell Barnes and Hopkins The Young Man Entering Business Orison Sweat Martin Crowell Co. Thoroughness Davidson Ravel Co. True Manhood James, Cardinal Gibbons McClurg Co. 20th Century Knighthood Banks Funk and Vinyals What Shall Our Boys Do for a Living Charles F. Wingate Doubleday, Page & Co. 384 winning their Wayfarers with Spurs of Gold. F.W. Green and D.V. Kirk young men who overcame Robert E. Spear Revelco First Aid to the Injured American. Red Cross Abridged Textbook and First Aid Major Ches Lynch Backwoods Surgery and Medicine Moody Boys Coastwise Riding Emergencies CV Golic Exercise in Education and Medicine RT Mackenzie Fighting a Fire CT Hill First Aid in Illness and Injury Pilcher First Aid to the Injured FJ Warwick Penn PUB Co Health, Strength, and Power DA Sergeant Heroes of the Lifeboat and Rocket Ballantine Heroes of the Storm Douglas Lifeboat and its work Lewis Nursing S Virginia Leaves Penn PUB Co. RC Coast Heroes Daunt Stories of the Lifeboat. Mundell the Beach Patrol Drysdale the Lifeboat Ballantine Games Book of Athletic and Outdoor Sports Bingham Book of College Sports Walter Camp Boys Book of Sports Fanny Thompson Century Co Boys Drill Regulations Games for Everybody Macy Hoffman Dodge PUB Co Games for All Occasions Mary E. Blaine Barse and Hopkins Games and Songs of American Children Newell Harper Brothers Education by Play and Games G. E. Johnson Ginn & Co. Money Making Entertainments Rook & Goodfellow Penn PUB Co. Play Emmett D. Angel Little, Brown & Co. Practical Track and Field Athletics Graham & Clark Duffield Co. Social Activities for Men and Boys A.M. Chesley Association Press Outdoor Games for All Seasons Beard Scribner's 385 Patriotism and Citizenship Abraham Lincoln Baldwin American Book Co. Abraham Lincoln Boy and Man Morgan American Hero Stories Eva M. Tappan Houghton American Leaders and Heroes W. F. Gordy Scribner's A Message to Garcia Hubbard An American Book of Golden Deeds James Baldwin American Book Co. Battles for the Union Prescott Holmes Henry Altimus Co. Battle of the War for Independence Prescott Holmes Henry Altimus Co. Boys Life of Abraham Lincoln Nicolay Century Co. Boys Life of Ulysses S. Grant Nicolay Century Co. Civic Studies in American Citizenship Sherman Macmillan Co. Discovery of the Old Northwest J. Baldwin Essentials in Civil Government S. E. Foreman American Book Co. Famous American Statesman Sarah K. Bolton Crowell Co. Famous Voyages and Explorers Sarah K. Bolton Crowell Co. For American Explorers Kingsley American Book Co. For American Indians Edson L. Whitney and Francis M. Perry American Book Co. For Great Americans James Baldwin American Book Co. Good Citizenship Julia Richmond Good Citizenship Grover Cleveland Henry Altimus Co. Great Words from Great Americans G. P. Putnam's Son Guide to United States History Henry W. Elson Baker, Taylor Co. Heroes of the Army in America Charles Morris Lippincott Heroes of Discovery in America Charles Morris Lippincott Heroes of the Navy in America Charles Morris Lippincott Heroes of Progress in America Charles Morris Lippincott Heroes of the United States Navy Hartwell Jones Henry Altimus Co. Hero Tales from American History Lodge and Roosevelt History of New York City Chaz E. Todd American Book Co. Historic Americans E. S. Brooks Crowell Co. 386 Home Life in Colonial Days Alice Morse Earl Grosset and Dunlap How the People Rule Hoxie Lessons for Junior Citizens Mabel Hill Lewis and Clark Leighton Houghton Mifflin Co. Life at West Point Hancock Putnam Life of Lincoln for Boys Sparhawk Crowell and Co. Lyra Heroica W. M. Ernest Henley Scribner's Makers and Defenders of America Anna E. Foote and A. W. Skinner American Book Co. Man Without a Country E. E. Hale Crowell & Co. New Century History of the United States. Edward Eggleston American Book Co. North America Frank G. Carpenter American Book Co. Our Country's Flag and the Flags of Foreign Countries Holden Our Country's Story Eva M. Tappan Houghton Mifflin Co. Pathfinders of the West Lot Grosset and Dunlap Patriotic Citizenship Poor Boys Who Became Famous Sarah K. Bolton Crowell Poems of American Citizenship Brander Matthews Scribner's Politics for Young Americans Charles Nordhoff American Book Co. Poor Richard's Almanac Benjamin Franklin Duffield Co. Popular Patriotic Poems Explained Murphy Hines Noble & Co. Potter's Advanced Geography Eliza H. Horton Hines, Noble & Co. Stories of Heroic Deeds James Johannot American Book Co. Stories of Our Country James Johannot American Book Co. Story of the American Merchant Marine J.R. Spears Macmillan Co. Story of the Great Republic H. Hagerber American Book Co. 10 Boys from History Sweetser, Duffield Co. 10 Great Events in History James Johannot American Book Co. The True Citizen and How to Become One. W. F. Marwick and W. A. Smith. American Book Co. The Century Book for Young Americans. Brooks, The Citizen. Shaler, The Community and the Citizen. Arthur Dunn. D.C. Heath & Co. The Good Neighbor in the Modern City. Mary Richmond Lippincott. The Ship of State. Youth's Companion. Ginn & Co. The Pilgrims. F.S. Noble. Pilgrim Press. 387. The Story of Our Navy for Young Americans. Abbott Dodd, Mead & Co. The Story of Our Great Lakes. E. Channing and M. F. Lansing. Macmillan Co. The Story of the 13 Colonies. Gerber. American Book Co. The Young Alaskans. Hoff. The Young Citizen. Dole Heath. Training for Citizenship. Smith Longmans, Green Co. Uncle Sam's Business. Marriott. U.S. Townsend Lothrop. Washington and His Generals. Headley Hurst & Co. Washington's Farewell Address. Duffield Co. When America Became a Nation. Jenks Crowell Co. When America Was New. Tudor. Jenks Crowell Co. When America Won Liberty. Tudor. Jenks Crowell Co. Young Americans. Judson. Young Continentals at Bunker Hill. McIntyre Penn. Pub Co. Young Continentals at Lexington. McIntyre Penn. Pub Co. Young People's History of the War with Spain. Prescott Holmes. Henry Altemus Co. Miscellaneous. A Guide to Biography. Burton E. Stevenson. Baker, Taylor Co. American Indians. Jan J. Vagabond Journey Around the World. Frank Century Co. Book of Golden Deeds. Catlin Boy's Life of Captain John Smith. Eleanor Johnson Crowell Co. Boy Wanted. W. Waterman. Childhood of Jishiv, The Ojibwe Jenks Choosing a Life Work. L. R. Fisk. Eaton and Mains Co. Choosing a Vocation. Parsons Christopher Carson, known as Kit Carson. J. S. C. Abbott Courage. Charles Wagner. David Crockett, His Life and Adventures. J. S. C. Abbott. Dashing Paul Jones. Frank Sheridan. David McKay. David Crockett, Scout Allen. Famous Indian Chiefs. O. W. Howard. Century Co. First Across the Continent. N. Brooks. Handy Parliamentary Rules. Craig Hines, Noble & Co. 388 Heroes of the Polar Seas. J. K. McLean. Lippincott. How George Rogers Clark Won the Northwest. R. G. Thwaites. Incentives for Life. J. W. Ludlow. Revell Co. Indian Boyhood. Eastman. Indian Fights and Fighters. Brady. Indian Story and Song. Fletcher. Letters to American Boys. Carruth. Life of David Crockett. E. S. Ellis. Life of John Gutenberg. Emily C. Pearson. Hurst & Co. Life Questions of High School Boys. Jenks Association Press. Living Races of Mankind, Vol. 4 and V. The University Society. Loyalty. J. G. R. McCleve. Revell Co. Lure of the Labrador Wild. Wallace. Northland Heroes. Florence Holbrook. Houghton Mifflin Co. Old Santa Fe Trail. H. Inman. Pony Tracks. F. Remington. Punishment of the Stingy. Grinnell. Pushing to the Front. Martin. Romance of Early Exploration. William Seeley Co. Self-Help. Smiles. Some Merry Adventures of Robin Hood. Pyle. Scribner. Story of a Scout. Finmore. Starting in Life. Fowler. Story of the Indian. Grinnell. Success. O. S. Martin. Successful Careers. They. Crowell Co. The American Shotgun. Askins. Outing. Pub Co. The Children's Life of Lincoln. M. Louise Putnam. McClurg Co. The Blazed Trail. White. The Boy. General Mrs. E. B. Custer. The Boy on a Farm. At Work and at Play. Jacob Abbott. American Book Co. The Heart of the Ancient Wood. C. G. D. Roberts. Wessels Co. The Romance of Polar Exploration. G. F. Scott Seeley & Co. The Seven Ages of Washington. Owen Wister. Grosset and Dunlap. The Way of an Indian. F. Remington. Stories for Scouts Adrift on an Icepan. W. T. Grenfell. American Life and Adventure. Eggleston. American Book Co. 389 Arizona Nights. S. E. White. Around the World with the Battleships. Miller. McClurg Co. Backwoodsman. D. Roberts. Black Rock. Gordon, Ralph Connor, Sued, Bob Burton. Horatio Alger, J. R. Winston Co. Barbie Boys or the Young Cowpunchers. Edwin S. Sabin. Crowell Co. Battling for Atlanta. Byron A. Dunn. McClurg Co. Boys of Other Countries. Taylor Putnam's Sons. Boy Trappers. Harry Castleman. Hurst & Co. Camping on the St. Lawrence. E. T. Tomlinson. Cattle Brands. A. Adams. Cattle Ranch to College. Russell Doubleday. Chilhowie Boys. Morrison. Crowell Co. Chilhowie Boys in Harness. Sarah E. Morrison. Crowell Co. Chilhowie Boys in Wartime. Sarah E. Morrison. Crowell Co. Cast Up by the Sea. Sir Samuel W. Baker. Hurst & Co. Cruise of the Canoe Club. W. L. Alden. Cruise of the Ghost. W. L. Aldendale and Fraser, Sheepmen SF Hamp Dashing Paul Jones Sheridan David McKay Dare Boys of 1776 Stephen Angus County AL Chatterton Kodori Mate C. R. Monroe Forest Runners Altschuler for Freedom's Cause T.C. Harbouch David McKay Fox Hunting C.A. Stevens Hurst & Co. Frank in the Woods Castleman Hurst & Co. Freckles Porter Grosset and Dunlap from Atlanta to the Sea Byron A. Dunn A.C. McClurg Co. Frontier Boys on the Overland Trail. Win. Roosevelt Chatterton Co. General Nelson Scout Byron A. Dunn A.C. McClurg Huckleberry Finn Twain Hans Brinker of the Silver Skates Mary Mapes Dodge Grosset and Dunlap in the Clouds for Uncle Sam Ashton Lamar Riley and Britain Ivanhoe Scott Jack among the Indians. G. B. Grinnell Kim Kipling Kidnapped Stevenson Knights Who Fought the Dragon Edwin Leslie Sunday School Times Co. Larry Dieters Great Search Howard R. Garris Grosset and Dunlap Little Matacomet Hezekiah Butterworth Crowell Co. 390 Little Smoke W. O. Stoddard Log of a Cowboy A. Adams Luke Walton Horatio Alger, J.R. Winston Co. Marching Against the Iroquois Everett T. Tomlinson Marion and his men John de Morgan David McKay Master of the Strong Hearts E. S. Brooks Off the Rocks Grenfell S. S. Cairns. On the Indian Trail Edgerton R. Young Revell Co. On the Old Kearsarge Cyrus Townsend Brady Scribners on General Thomas's staff Byron A. Dunn McClurg Paul Revere John de Morgan David McKay Peggy Owen Lucy Foster Madison Penn Pub Co-rating with Morgan Byron A. Dunn McClurg Range and Trail or the Barbies Great Drive Edwin L. Sabin T.Y. Crowell Co. Rip Van Winkle Washington Irving Burse and Hopkins Robinson Crusoe Defoe Houghton Mifflin Co. Silent Places S.E. White Stories of the Good Greenwood Seahawks Crowell Co. Story of Sunny Sahib S.J. Duncan Sheridan's Troopers on the Borders to B. Randolph Kieran David McKay Sir Raoul James M. Ludlow Revell Co. Stories from Life Orison Sweat Martin American Book Co. Struggling Upward Alger, J.R. Winstead Co. Swiss Family Robinson J.D. Weiss Talking Leaves W.O. Stoddard 10 and Freckles C.L. Bryson Revell Co. 10 years before the mast. Dana, J.R. Houghton Mifflin Co. The Airship Boys Sailor Riley and Britain The Boy Aviators in Nicaragua Wilbur Lawton Hurst & Co. The Boy Aviators in Africa Wilbur Lawton Hurst & Co. The Boy Aviators Polar-Wilbur Lawton Hurst & Co. The Boy Aviators in Record Flight Wilbur Lawton Hurst & Co. The Boy Aviators in Secret Service Wilbur Lawton Hurst & Co. The Boy Aviators Treasure Quest Wilbur Lawton Hurst & Co. The Boy Fortune Hunters in Alaska F. Aches Riley and Britain The Boy Fortune Hunters in Panama F. Aches Riley and Britain The Hill Horace A. Vachel Dodd, Mead & Co. The Pilot Cooper The Pioneers Cooper The Spy Cooper 391 Washington's Young Spy T.C. Harbouch David McKay Waste Not Want Not Stories Clifton Johnson American Book Co. With Fighting Jack Barry John T. McIntyre Lippincott with Flintlock and Fife Everett T. Tomlinson Grosset and Dunlap with Sully Into the Siouxland Joseph Mills Hanson McClurg Wolf Hunters Joseph Oliver Co. Wood Bobs, Merrill Co. Work and Win Edward S. Ellis A. L. Burt Co. 392 393 394 Index 395 Index of Page Accidents Prevention of 255 Additions to Territory of the United States 323A First Try in Tracking 191 Aim of the Scout Movement 3 Alaska Purchase, 1867, 324 Alcohol 226 Ambassadors 345 America, Hymn, 357 American Morse Telegraph Alphabet 202 American Morse Telegraph Abbreviations 203 American Morse Telegraph Numerals 202 American Morse Telegraph Punctuations 202 American Morse Telegraph Signal 202 American Revolution. The 1775 to 1783, 325-328 Angling 109 Animals, Native, Wild 133 Antelope 135 Badger 140 Bear, Black 142 Beaver 136 Cottontail 125 Cougar or Panther 137 Coyote 139 Deer, Mule 134 Deer, White-tailed 134 Elk or Wapiti 133 Fox 138 Goat, Mountain 135, mink 140, moose 135, muskrat 136, opossum 141, otter 139, panther or cougar 137, rabbit, cottontail 137, rabbit, jack or black-tailed 137, raccoon 141, squirrel, gray 141, skunk 140, weasel 139, wildcat or bobcat 138, wolf, gray 138, woodchuck 136, Annapolis, MD, Naval Academy 344, apoplexy and injury to brain 270, aquarium, home 109, aquarium, fish food 111, aquarium, fish nets 110, aquarium, starting the 110, archery 255, arm carry 240, 276, Army of the United States 342, Articles of Confederation, 1781, 325, A Story of the Trail 192-197, Athletic Standards, Outdoor 320, Axis 360B, Page Badges of Rank 44, Chief Scout 45, Chief Scout Camp Master 46, Chief Scout Citizen 46, Chief Scout Director of Athletics 46, Chief Scout Director of Chivalry 46, Chief Scout Director of Health 45, Chief Scout Stalker 45, Chief Scout Surgeon 45, Chief Scout Surveyor 45, Chief Scout Woodsman 45, Scout Master 45, Service Stripes 45, Back Strangle 284, Bandana 360, Bathing Rules 156, Baths 224, Battleship Maine, 1898, 338, Bed. The Camp 147, Beetles and Wasps 105, Belts 360, Bird Box 92, Birdcraft 85-94, Bird Blind 89, Bird Lists 87, Bird Lunch Counter 92, Bird Patrol Man 94, Birds, Caring for 91 Birds, How to Photograph 89 Birds, Knowing the 85-90 Birds, Nesting Season 88 Birds, Protecting the 92 Birth of New States. The 331 Bites and Stings 274, Books for Reference 369-391, Boy Scout Equipment 359-369, Boy Scout Organization, The 10 Breeches 360, Bruises 264, Bugle 361, Building a Lot Cabin 59, Burns and Scalds 273, Butterflies 101, Butterfly Weed 119, C Page Cabinet, President S341, Campcraft 145-186, Cameras Snapshots 148, Campfire, The 160, Campfire Building 158, Campfire Fireplace 149, Campfire Storytelling 161, Campfire Stunts 161, Camp Lamp 148, Campsite 147, 396, Canoeing, Rowing, and Sailing 173-184, Clear Weather Signs 157, Clouds as Weather Signs 156, Cooking Receipts 149-152, Bacon 150, Cocoa 151, Coffee 151, Eggs, boiled, fried, scrambled, poached 151, Fish, baked 150, Frog legs 150, Griddle cakes 149, Potatoes, roast 150, Salmon on toast 150, Camp knives 361, Carrying injured 277, Canteen 361, Census of United States, 1790 to 1820, taken every 10 years 332, Chair carry 275, Challenge of the present 243, Character 245, Cheerfulness 244, Chief Scout and Staff 11, Chills 277, Chivalry 237-254, Citizenship 349, Civil Service, United States. State and City 344, Civil War, the 1861 to 1865, 334, Clothing on Fire, How to Put Out 256, Coats 361, Coffee 226, Compass 362, Confederacy, Southern, 1861, 335, Congress 341, Conservation 232, Constipation 226, Constitution of the United States, 1789, 325, Consuls 345, County Courthouse 348, Courage 248, Courts of the United States 342, Cramps or Stomachache 276, Cuba, 1898, 338, D. Page Death Grips How to Break 282, Declaration of Independence, 1776, 327 digestion 225 directions for ordering 360 dishwashing 152 dislocation 265. Diving for lost objects 285 diving from the surface 284 drawing tracks 196 drinking cup 362 drowning 258 drum 362 Dutch in New York 325 duty to God 249 e-pagier 8 275 heirs, care of 229 eating 225 electric accidents 258 electric shocks, what to do 259 Emancipation Proclamation, 1862, 337 emergencies, first aid for 273 English settlements, 1607, 1620, 325 equipment 359-369 evacuation day, 1783, 326 exercise, setting up 188-191 exercises. Outdoor 223 eye bandage 274 eyes care of 226 eye inflammation of 276 eye something in the 273 F page fainting 270 Farragut, Admiral life story 329 feet, care of 230 ferns 117 finding your latitude by the stars 57 fingernails, care of 230 fire by rubbing sticks. How to make 70 fire, building the 158 fireman's lift 278 fires 255 fires. How to put out what to do 255 first aid and life saving 255-290 first aid 251 first aid kit 362 first class scout 17 fitness 219 fits 272 fishes 105-109 classes of 106 identification of specimens 108 base, black largemouth 107 catfish, speckled 106 herring, river or alewife 107 killifish. Tip minnow 108 perch, yellow 107 pickerel, common pike 106 salmon, chinook 106 sturgeon, the Atlantic 107 sucker, common white 108 trout, brook or speckled 106 whitefish, common 106 marine 107 migratory 106 studying 107 flag day June 14 th 340 flag. The history of American, 1777, 337 flag rules observed 341 floating 280 Florida and Texas 333 Florida purchase, 1819, 324 Foreign Service 345 Forest Fires 159 Forks 361 Fort Sumter, 1861, 335 Fractures, Compound 264 Franklin. Benjamin 327 Freezing 272 French and Indian Wars, 1763, 335 Frostbite 272 G Page Gadsend Purchase, 1853, 324 Games 291 Arctic Expedition 314 Badger Pulling 303 Bear Hunt 293 Canoe Tag 297 Chalk the Arrow 312 Cockfighting 302 Deer Hunting 291 Dodgeball 312 Dragging Race 351 397 Duck on a Rock 304 Far and Near 315 Far Side 299 Feather Football or Feather Blow 302 Fire Lighting Race 315 Flag Rating 305 Follow My Leader 315 Follow the Trail 310 Hand Wrestling 303 Hare and Hound 312 Hat Ball 303 Horse and Rider Tourney 318 Hostile Spy 300 Hunt the Coon 301 Kim's Game 311 Night Errantry 316 Lion Hunting 305 Manhunt, the 301 Morgan's Game 311 Mountain Scouting 316 Mumbly Peg 318 Navajo Feather Dance 302 Pathfinding, Games in 316 Plant Race 305 Poison 303 Pole Star 299 Prisoners Base 313 Quickside, The Game of 298 Rabbit Hunt 300 Relay Race 308 Roadside Cribbage 304 Scouting 298 Scout Hunting 308 Scout Meet Scout 310 Scouts Nose, Indoors, 310 Shop Window, Indoors in Town, 309 Shop Window, Outdoors in Town, 309 Shootout 311. Siberian manhunt 312 smugglers on the border 309 snow fort 311 spear fights 302 spearing the great sturgeon 295 spider and fly 307 spot the rabbit or far side 299 spot the thief 308 stalking 307 stalking and reporting 307 throwing the assegai 305 throwing the spear 313 tilting in the water 296 track memory 308 treasure hunt. The 317 Treasure Island 318 Unprepared Plays 316 Will-O-the-Wisp 317 Page Gas Accidents 259 Gas Poisoning, What to Do 260 General Hints 155 Grant, Ulysses S. 335 Grasses 117 Growth 223 Guam. Acquired, 1808. 324 Hopage Hancock, John 327 Hand or Flag Signals 209 Handy Articles in Camp 148 Hats 362 Haversack 363 Hawaii Annexed, 1898, 324 Head Bandage 266 Health and Endurance 219-236 Hiccup 276 Hiking and Overnight Camps 145 Honor Medals 44 Hospital Corps Pouch 363 Hot Stone Wrinkle 148 How the Great Spirit Was Found 161 How to Become a Boy Scout 11 How to Get Your Bearings 157 How to Make Pictures of Tracks 194 I-Page Ice Rescue 258 Indian Bathing Precaution 156 Indian Signs and Blazes 209. Individuality 247 Injuries due to heat or cold 273 Injuries when skin is broken 265 Injuries when skin is not broken 262 Insects and butterflies 101-105 Insects, other 104 IV poisoning 247 K Page Key. Francis Scott, author 330 Knickerbockers 363 Knighthood, Ancient 237 Knighthood, Modern 240 Knives 363 Knots Every Scout Should Know 48-52 Beckett Hitch 51 Blackwell Hitch 51 Bolin 50 Carrick Bend 52 Clove Hitch 51 Fisherman's Bend 51 Fisherman's Knot 52 False Reef or Granny 50 Figure of 8 Knot 49 Halter, Slip or Running Knot 50 Overhand Knot. The 49 Sheet Bend or Weaver's Knot 50 Square or Reef Knot 50 Sheep Shank 50 Timber Hitch 51 2 Half Hitches 51 Whipping a Rope 49 L Page Land Ordinances, 1785, 1787, 334 Land Settlements 325 Lanyard 364 Leadership 152 Lean-to, the 146 Lee, Robert E. 335 Leggings 364 Letter from Colonel Theodore Roosevelt 353 Lexington and Concord, 1775, 325 Life Boys 287 Lincoln, Abraham 241, 335 Louisiana Purchase, 1803, 323 M. Page Mad Dog 260 Manners, Good 243 Mariner's Compass, the 52 Meadow Mouse 199 Measurement, Hand 368 Measuring. Distances 64 Medical Examinations 224 Memorial Day May 30 Th 341 Menu for Camp and Hike 152 Mess Kits 364 398 Mexican Session and Purchase from Texas, 1848, 324 Military Academy West Point 343 Militia, Naval 344 Militia, State 308 Mollusca Shells and Shellfish 94-9 Moon, the 85